$4,178. That's how much one of these ChatGPT methods made last month. And it wasn't by writing $50 blog posts or generic social media captions. The truth is, most people who try to make money with ChatGPT are using it for low-value tasks, a race to the bottom that's already over. They're using a rocket ship to deliver a pizza. I'm giving you the blueprint. 7 real strategies, moving from your first client all the way to the final one. A method that can scale to $10,000 a month and beyond. So let's start with the fastest way to get your first paying client, often in less than a week. Strategy 1. The AI Content Repurposing Agency. Now, I know what you're thinking. A service business? Isn't that market completely saturated? And you're right, it is, if you're selling the wrong thing. Take Sarah. She was a great virtual assistant, but she was stuck capped at $2,000 a month. One of her clients, a podcaster, would send her a new episode transcript every week, and it was her job to manually chop it into social media posts. It was a task she dreaded, an 8-hour slog of highlighting, copying, and pasting. Then one day, staring at another long transcript, she tried something different. She opened ChatGPT, fed it the entire text, and gave it one simple prompt. Act as a master content strategist. Analyze this transcript and extract 10 viral tweets, 3 newsletter ideas, and 2 outlines for short blog posts. In less than 90 seconds, it was done. Her eyes widened. The grind of an entire day, completed in the time it takes to make coffee. She realized she wasn't just a task doer anymore, she could sell a high-value system, and this is the key. I learned this the hard way, trying to sell $50 AI blog posts. It's a race to the bottom. The lesson? Don't sell the AI-generated text. Sell the strategic repurposing system that saves a business owner 20 hours a month. For a $20 a month subscription, Sarah was now doing the work of a 3-person content team. That's leverage. Am I the only one who used to dread tasks like that? Let me know in the comments what job you'd love to automate away. Repurposing content for existing clients is the perfect first step. The creator economy, however, has an even bigger, more urgent problem: a constant hunger for new ideas. This opens the door for our second strategy, the YouTube script and shorts automation service. So many people believe that to make money with ChatGPT on YouTube, you have to be a creator. That's no longer true. Alex was an aspiring scriptwriter, mostly just a fan of his favorite YouTuber. One day, he saw the creator complain on social media about how long it takes to come up with fresh ideas for shorts. It's a huge bottleneck. While thousands of people just liked the post, Alex saw an opening. He took the transcript from a popular video and fed it to ChatGPT with a brilliant prompt. He told it, act as a viral YouTube Shorts producer, extract 15 distinct hook-driven ideas from this transcript, and then write a full 60-second script for the top 3. He didn't ask for permission, he didn't pitch a service, he just sent an email with the 3 finished scripts, completely free. The creator was blown away. The ideas were sharp, the hooks were strong, and it solved his biggest problem instantly. He replied and immediately offered Alex a $1,500 a month retainer to produce 30 short scripts every single month. In that moment, Alex's identity flipped. He went from being a passive consumer of content to an active producer of the raw material that fuels the entire creator economy. That's the leverage. For the cost of a ChatGPT subscription, one person can become an idea and script writing machine. Creating content for creators is a massive opportunity. What about businesses that need to find their own customers? For them, you need to break through the noise with Strategy 3, the hyper-personalized outreach system. And let's be honest, almost everyone hates cold outreach. It feels like spam, and 99% of the time, it just doesn't work. James was a B2B sales rep, and he was tired of sending generic emails that got a 1% reply rate. He was looking at a spreadsheet with 100 prospects about to send another email blast into the void. Then he stopped. Instead, he copied the LinkedIn profile URL of his number 1 target prospect. He pasted it into ChatGPT with a very specific prompt. He wrote, "Analyze this profile. Identify their top 3 priorities and write a 3-sentence email connecting my software's value proposition to their recent post about scaling their sales team." The output was shocking. It wasn't just personalized, it was insightful. It referenced a specific pain point from a post they had made just days earlier. He sent it, and he got a reply in 20 minutes. What's the best cold email you've ever received? The one that actually made you reply? Share what made it work in the comments. In that moment, James's identity shifted. He went from being a spammer to a strategic consultant who uses AI to find the perfect angle. What used to take him 30 minutes of manual research for every single prospect now takes 30 seconds. One person can suddenly do the high-quality, targeted outreach of an entire sales development team. These first strategies are powerful for earning your first few $1,000s, but they still require you to trade time for money. The next strategy is where the shift begins, from service provider to asset builder. That's strategy 4, the AI-assisted niche blog. The common wisdom is that blogging is dead, or that it takes years of grinding away before you see a single dollar. That used to be true. Maria is a coffee enthusiast with a day job. She wanted to share her passion for a specific niche, single-origin Ethiopian coffee, without building a huge personal brand. The old way would have been to spend months guessing what people are searching for. Instead, she partners with ChatGPT. She treats it like her personal research director. She asks it, "Give me 50 long-tail keywords about Yirgachev coffee beans." Instantly, she has a content plan. Then she goes deeper. Create a content cluster outline for a pillar page on cold brew methods for light roast beans. She isn't a writer staring at a blank page anymore. She's the editor-in-chief. AI is her entire writing staff. ChatGPT does 80% of the grunt work, the research, the outlines, the first drafts. Maria's job is to add the final 20%, her unique expertise, her personal taste tests, her stories. She was the CEO. AI was the staff. In her spare time, she builds out an authoritative site at a speed that would have once required a small media company. And then, a few months later, the notifications start. Small pings from Amazon. Affiliate commissions. It wasn't a $100,000 launch. It was something quieter, but just as powerful. A valuable digital asset built in her spare time that was starting to make money while she slept. Building a niche site is a powerful long-term play, and now we shift from building assets to building entire companies. If you're getting value from these blueprints, take 1 second to subscribe to Pragati Kunwer, because the next levels are where everything changes. Maria built a content asset. The next step is building a system that does something, a tool people can use. This is where you go from builder to founder, and you don't need to code. Christian Peverelli is a non-technical founder. With a new baby at home, he gave himself a public challenge: build a profitable business in 72 hours. The clock started. He wasn't coding. He was in a tool called make.com, visually connecting blocks like digital Legos, a web form, to the OpenAI API, to a database. He wasn't writing a program, he was designing a workflow. In 3 days, he built a full AI-powered business called Resume AI, a tool where a job seeker could upload their resume, paste a job description, and the AI system would automatically rewrite the resume to be perfectly optimized for that job. And then, just before the deadline, it happened. A small notification. The first paying customer. He had done it. In that moment, the old rules were broken. One person, who doesn't code, built an entire software company in 3 days using a handful of affordable subscriptions. This is the absolute essence of leverage. This is a big one. Are you team no code using tools like Bubble and Make, or team learn to code? Let me know which path you're on below. You can use this exact thinking to make money with ChatGPT, not as a writer, but as a builder. Start by creating simple AI agents for local businesses and charge them a monthly retainer. You're not selling code, you're selling an automated system. Christian built a service powered by an AI system. What if your knowledge, amplified by AI, was the product instead? That's what happened to Ole Lehmann after he lost everything. In November 2022, Ole Lehmann was at rock bottom. The entrepreneur lost everything when the FTX exchange collapsed. He was facing potential bankruptcy, with no idea what to do next. 2 weeks later, he discovered ChatGPT. He saw the AI wave, started a Twitter account called the AI Solopreneur, and simply shared what he was learning. He wasn't a guru, he was documenting his journey. The response was electric. His account exploded, gaining over 100,000 followers in just 65 days. He had found a starving crowd. Seeing this demand, he used ChatGPT as his co-founder. He prompted it to outline, structure, and create the materials for his first digital course, the AI Audience Accelerator. This is the ultimate leverage. A process that takes a team months was compressed into weeks. He launched the course. In less than a month, it generated $176,885. A man who had nothing just weeks before had created a digital product factory powered by AI. This is how you make money with ChatGPT, not by trading your time, but by turning your knowledge into a scalable asset. You don't have to be the world's foremost expert. You just have to document your learning for the people one step behind you. Whole story is incredible. The final strategy, however, is how you build a truly defensible business and scale to $10,000 a month and beyond. This is where you become a technology founder. And the person who proved you don't need to be a Silicon Valley engineer was a data analyst. On paternity leave, meet David Bressler. At his job, David was the Excel guy, constantly interrupted for help with formulas. His entrepreneurial dreams felt distant with a growing family and no coding skills. Then, on a 6-week paternity leave, he saw the AI wave on Twitter and decided to solve the problem he knew so well. He taught himself a no-code platform called Bubble by watching YouTube tutorials and built a simple web application. You would type instructions in plain English and the AI would spit out the exact Excel formula. He called it Excel Formula Bot. He made a simple post on the Excel subreddit. It went viral. Thousands of users flooded the site, but the dream almost died. The free tool went viral and the API bill was a shock. $4,999 in days. He was about to shut it down. But that crippling bill was also the ultimate validation. The demand was overwhelming. So instead of quitting, he added a paywall, turning the viral traffic into a real subscription-based business. The result? Within 6 months, FormulaBot reached over $26,000 in monthly recurring revenue. By August 2024, the tool was generating $226,000. Every single month, a data analyst with no coding experience built a real, scalable technology company while on paternity leave. This is the final strategy. You don't just use an AI, you build a unique AI-powered solution to a high-value problem. His story is the ultimate proof of AI as leverage. 7 strategies. A staircase from your first client to a full-blown AI company. The only question is where to start. Don't try to build a SaaS tonight. Don't launch a course tomorrow. Start with Strategy 1, the AI Content Repurposing Agency. It's the fastest path to your first paying client, the fastest way to build the confidence that this is real, all powered by a tool that costs less than a few cups of coffee a month. So here's the first step. Tonight, find one creator you love, listen to their latest content, and send them a 1-paragraph email showing them 3 great social media posts you could create from it. That's it. That's the start of the journey.